The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
C.D. Lamb, touchdown.
Parsons has sacked it. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, and Kyle Youmans.
It's an off-season edition of Talkin Cowboys presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company, live from the Star in Frisco, Texas, in the SWBC studios. We've got the whole cast and crew ready for you to rock today. Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, the Isaiah Stanback. I'm Kyle Youmans with Chris Beam in the back. Glad you are with us. Gentlemen, the coaching carousel has begun.
And it's going to be over sooner than you think.
Will it?
It has to be.
Why?
Because once the first two dominoes fall, everybody else falls.
And what are the first two dominoes?
Well, it was Ben Johnson in Chicago, and Aaron Glenn most likely will not leave the building of the New York Jets today.
Second interview with the Jets.
This time in person.
I agree with that statement.
Yeah. So once the two dominoes, the numbered 1 and 2 dominoes fall, everybody else has to hurry up and fill the roles.
Did their playoff
exit?
Yeah. Did the playoff exit play any role into them getting a job so soon?
No. I mean, it was all dependent on those guys.
Did it cause any hesitation?
You mean as far as like the way their season ended? No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
A little bit of pause here and there.
It's the legendary Bill Jones.
It's Bill Jones.
Oh,
Crashing the party.
I was going to wear that. Give it to you.
Thanks, Bill. Bill Jones of Mix Shots and CBS 11, everyone. All right.
Bill Jones.
That's my question is, was there pause? It definitely wasn't any pause for the Bears. We'll see what the Jets ultimately end up doing, but I could see one way or the other. I kind of thought Glenn would either land in New York or New Orleans, one of the news.
So New Orleans is supposed to be his second stop, but if you're the Jets, are you letting him leave the building?
You're not.
If he's your number one guy,
You're kidnapping
much like the
him?
Bears went head to head with the Raiders and was like, we're not losing
doing
this. We're going to just keep throwing money and power at
There's no salary caps with coaches, head coaches, right?
That is correct.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, those two were the holdup, right, in regards to the majority of the NFL, right, in terms of the head coaching positions that were available outside of the Patriots, right? The Patriots had their guy. Okay, that was done and done.
Yeah.
Everybody else was waiting. Okay, can we get these guys, right? Can the Bears get Ben Johnson? Yes.
If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company. This segment of the show is brought to you by Quaker Oats, the official oatmeal sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Quaker Oats, trusted since 1877. A little technical hiccup, but we are back, and that means you can buy your oats from the internet, Josh.
Using the Quaker code in the left-hand corner.
There you go.
Isaiah's pointing right at it.
That's right.
Easy money.
Now I'm drinking over it.
And he got his oats this morning, didn't he?
Now I'm drinking over.
Got him this morning?
I definitely did.
Yeah?
Yeah, right here at the buzzard, buddy.
No wonder you're not coy today.
Oh, no koi today.
He's got some bounce in his step.
Cowboys will have a
Extra
coach by
juice.
the end of this week. That's why I'm not koi.
Woo!
That's right. I said it. Right,
Calling it like you sees it, huh?
Right, 2 tears in a bucket.
Are we going to like
Oh,
the
what's the
coach?
rest of that statement?
Take it to the stage.
What about the first part? I don't know if I'm there with you. I don't know. This is the part of the show where we can get into the rumor.
It better be.
The rumor mill, whatever's happening.
Yeah,
right. I'm just not there.
Then you're going to be the head coach.
The part of the show that got cut off there, we were
It looks
talking
like
about
it today.
John Fossil. We were talking about the exit of John Fossil and how much that does hurt the Cowboys, how much impact he had around the impact of Brandon Aubrey. And the
presence of Brandon
the presence of him was only available due to John Fossil and what he brought to the table. Same thing with Cavante Turpin.
Do you know how positive of an individual Bones Fossil is?
Very.
Do you see him out there?
He's the most bubbly, consistent person you've ever seen in your life.
But even better than that, because he is that, but a lot of people will hear that and think, oh, well, it takes more than that to be. No, these players will run through a wall for Bones Fossil.
Not only that, he's a historian of the game. I feel like he's watched every NFL game ever in history. The dude, his knowledge of the game is
Bones
absolutely
Fossil,
insane.
to your point, and as far as his football IQ, acumen, and knowledge of the game, it wasn't NFL officials that were teaching us, the media, about the new kickoff rules at training camp. It was Bones Fossil under the tent holding what amounted to a college course on the new rules for the NFL kickoff. So, I mean, again, most fans understand how huge of a loss it is for Bones Fossil to depart this organization. But for those that don't, and just like I said in the first segment when we had technical difficulties, for those that, tie their disdain to him to, 1 or 2 fake punts that didn't work, measure that up against everything else positive that he did, everything else that he meant for the organization. And again, if you need us to shrink it down for you, just know, like Kyle explained in the first segment, you don't have Brandon Aubrey in this building if not for Bones Fossil.
Correct.
So remember that every time Brandon Aubrey kicks 65 yards and it's right down the middle.
Thanks, Bones.
Every time Cavante Turpin has an impact return, thanks, Bones. So, yeah, those types of things and more.
One of your 3 that you couldn't lose.
And now we wait to see if anybody.
And the other 2 are free agents.
And the other one I'm hearing is most likely not. Well, yeah.
What was that?
They talking about Al? Yeah, I mean, I've heard the same.
What happened to not being coy? What were you going to say?
The probability, my understanding is that the probability of Al Harris coming back is very slim.
He is correct. He is correct.
So
that is exactly what I'm hearing as well.
There you go.
Blowing it up.
Well, this is.
I mean, it's
kind of what it feels like.
Quite literally.
Trying not to do too much revisit on the first segment because we want to get to the second segment. But like Kyle said initially, the longer it took the Cowboys to make a decision, or McCarthy to make a decision on the Cowboys, however that resolution were to happen, you put yourself in a position where you have no assistant coaches, no coordinators under contract, and they can sign with whomever they want. And like Isaiah said, they don't know who's coming in. So is that incoming head coach willing to keep them, or do they want a completely new staff? And if you're an assistant or a coordinator, think of it the other way, in that I don't know who you're bringing in yet. I might not want to work under them. So,
but also, on top of that, this window's closing. It is closing quickly, right? Yep. You're in between 2 walls, and the walls are closing in.
What window?
There's an exit right there, right?
What window?
The window of opportunity to sign with a team, to be a coach in the NFL.
Coaches' windows.
To be on a team, to have a job. In 2025/26, like that's your opportunity for that is closing as a previous assistant coach for the Dallas Cowboys.
As each hour passes,
it's literally right. So like now, as these top 2 dominoes, as we mentioned in the first segment that you might have missed, fall in Ben Johnson and most likely Aaron Glenn, other teams are going to be rushing to fill those voids with the same pool of coaches, the same pool of coaches. Everybody's been waiting to see who's going to get the top 2 dogs. And now let's fill our voids. If you are a previous coach for the Dallas Cowboys and one of these coaches calls you and shows interest in you because they have to make decisions quickly as well, you are not in a position to say, hey, stand by. Right. Let me check on my first option that I don't even know who it is yet. You'll be my second option. No.
Yeah.
Click. Once that phone ends, I'm on to the next guy. So you're not in a position to say, no, hold on, wait, let me see. They're trying to see, are you committed to them?
You're waiting basically on them to hire a coach that you don't know to say, yeah, maybe I'll keep this guy. No, you have to. You have to take what you can
like
get.
This guy, or maybe
I'll like this guy. Maybe we'll click, and if
you're going to take the respectable offer that's on the table, which is more or less what Bones
exactly.
The Senior Bowl is another big hurdle on the horizon. I mean, half of the Senior Bowl is scouting and what we see and talk about on the draft show and what we'll talk about on Talkin Cowboys and all of that element to it. The other half is the networking side of coaches that are trying to get jobs. And at that point, you are slim pickings for opportunities out there in the NFL because most teams have either filled their staff because they want to go scout, because they want to build to the future. And if you're a head coach or an assistant coach still looking for a job, you're kind of out of luck whenever you get to that point. Only a couple guys get out of that from that networking capability. All right.
When are those All-Star games again, Kyle?
Coming up this week. Yeah. This weekend, the Shrine Bowl starts, and then next week is the Senior Bowl week.
Practices start Saturday.
For the Shrine Bowl.
For the Shrine Bowl, right, which is here locally. And the game is next Thursday?
Yep. The 1st of February.
So opportunities for your coaches to go see players.
To quote Karrion Kross, tick-tock.
Yeah, TikTok. It is. I mean, I don't know what else you can say.
Karrion Kross? It's the WWE.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't like him.
I thought it was like the meme that's been going around from the Hunger Games about TikTok dying.
No.
That whole scenario.
No.
What are you talking about, man? Where'd it go?
It's right here. Right?
It's here.
Crazy.
On my phone.
All right. There's been a lot of hearsay over the last 2 weeks, right? Hearsay around the Cowboys on what they're doing. Hearsay around the Cowboys on who they're interviewing, on who they're interested in.
Who they
Who's
like.
The front runner. The Vegas odds have had everyone except for Josh Rodriguez as a front runner.
Which is a shame.
Which is unfortunate because, honestly, I think he's got a better shot than some of these guys to get the head coaching job. It's kind of bounced around throughout.
Facts.
That's true. I want to get through all of the rumor mill.
Okay.
And I want to dispel what is truth and what is not truth. Because you've got connections in the building. You've got connections in the building. You've got connections in the building. I've got connections in the building. Beamer has some of the best connections in the building, shockingly enough. He's got a lot of that because he's been around for 100 years. So I want to talk about the rumor mill.
That was 99.
And what is true. Yeah, we got to hit 100 this year. What is true and what is not around the Cowboys coaching search? I'll start with you, Patrik.
Well, what's true is that the Cowboys do, in fact, have interest in Brian Schottenheimer, and he is expected to interview this week. So that's not a rumor. That's actually a thing. Okay.
Front runner, though?
Anyone labeled a front runner right now, I think, is a rumor.
I would agree with that.
The front office doesn't know who the front runner is. So
people who are saying there is a front runner it's a complete guess right now.
Complete fabrication.
It is a
guess. You don't know because they don't know. So it doesn't matter what Vegas's odds are because, like Kyle said, depending on what day of the week it is. Yesterday it was Schottenheimer. The day before it was Kellen Moore. The day prior it was Deion Sanders. Until all the candidates are actually revealed, how can you know who the front runner is?
Yeah.
Right? So you can say who has more familiarity. That's the Kellen Moore and the Brian Schottenheimers of the world. But then you could say who has more experience, which is the Leslie Frazier's of the world, and some of these others who might pop up who haven't popped up yet, like a Pete Carroll, whatever the name may be. Yeah. So that's why I'm with Kyle on this one, Isaiah. I don't feel like the decision is going to be made this week because there's no front runner as we have this conversation on Tuesday of this week. So Deion Sanders, I think that we talked about that. That's just leveraging and headlining. And my opinion is that Deion being in contract negotiations with Colorado, he's besties with Jerry. Hey, do me a favor. Okay, cool. I'm not worried. Yeah, whatever. Kellen Moore is a real thing. Salah is
Can I hit Deion real quick?
Go
I talked to a source that was close to Deion this past weekend, and he said Deion is focused on Colorado. He said he wants to be in Colorado. There's a little bit of.
You mean like Belichick is focused on
North Carolina? Yeah.
Even though he
and both
hasn't
of those
signed his contract. Stop.
Both of those guys have $10 million buyouts, so there's that to it as well. The Deion situation is intriguing, I think, to the front office. I don't think it's super intriguing to Deion. And I know there was a report out there that if he was offered the job, he would take it. I get it. I think if anybody was offered the job, they'll probably take it.
Right.
Offer me the job, I'll take it.
Yeah, the buyout is a hurdle. The current extension contracts in Colorado is a hurdle. There's a lot going on.
Plus, he's so well set up in Colorado. He's so well set up.
He's
and
untouchable.
Especially if this new contract goes and materializes for him.
Yeah.
Like, if you're Deion Sanders, why would you leave that situation to try to turn the Titanic?
And it plays to his strengths, too, as well. As far as recruiting goes, as far as staff.
The amount of staff he was given in Colorado is ungodly. He would not be able to do that here. Yeah, plain and simple. So I think the Deion thing is intriguing. Might be kind of fun. I think we would have a ton of fun with it.
Barring a change, there's a reason why that was the first thing that broke, but yet there's been no interview requested or scheduled with Deion just yet.
But there are aspects of Deion that I would love. Certain traits, if you will.
I'm not going to say all. There are aspects of most of these candidates and potential candidates that I love. But then there are aspects of a lot of these candidates that I could do without.
Sure.
Which is where we go to building a coach. But first, before we do that, I need, because I've been reading Isaiah's eyes for the past 5 minutes.
Yeah, what are your connections?
I need you to speak on what you're thinking.
I know people.
You do.
Because I've seen.
I think the Deion Sanders thing at first was fluff. Then it became something that was real because I think that he had some run-ins with his negotiations over there in Colorado. I think those negotiations are probably getting figured out now.
Yeah.
But there was some pushback in Colorado.
Oh, it was a real thing. The interest was real.
I think at the beginning it was mutually beneficial, and then it became a real thing because of the pushback from
Colorado. Almost messed it up.
They almost messed it up.
Yeah.
So now I think that's going to get figured out. So I think Deion's off the table. In regards to all the other coaches that have come through the building.
Does it get figured out if
or virtual or whatever?
Yeah.
I think that the Joneses are interviewing coordinators. That's what I believe. I don't believe that anybody they're talking to is a head coach candidate. I think they're all
talking about with Kellen, Saleh,
most
Frazier.
I think they're all Frazier.
Then who's their head coach?
Frazier is a coach. Is a mentor for head coaches.
Sure.
That's what his role is in the NFL now. No disrespect to him.
No, of course not.
His role now is a mentor to new head coaches. So, as the Cowboys may have been exploring a new head coach and might be exploring a first-time head coach, I think they wanted to have an idea of what Frazier has done in his previous stints to mentor head coaches and help with their transition, as he was just in Seattle with McDonald to help with his transition. I think that Saleh is a coordinator thing. I think that Kellen Moore is a conversation mainly to try to see if you can steal him back and get him back over here to be a coordinator. I don't see him as a head coach.
Coming back as a
I don't think so. I wouldn't. Why would you?
He would not want to.
Exactly. So I think that's what that is. I think everybody that they have talked to has been a coordinator. I don't think that they have yet talked to a head coach candidate, unless they've talked to that candidate in previous stints. And I don't know if I've said John Gruden. What was that?
It's a W.
Who's that?
Maybe this.
UW.
JW.
JW.
No,
That's a J.
no, I don't.
Is that what you're referencing?
No, that's not what I'm referencing. I'm referencing
Jason Witten. That's who I'm throwing out there.
I don't. I mean, we said this on Special Edition, but I believe that one of my picks would be John Gruden. But he hasn't came up in regards to interviews.
Not even a little bit.
No.
I think
he's living it up on Barstool, right?
I think Ron Rivera is still in play. I know some people aren't necessarily excited about that, but he's a good dude. When he's had a good quarterback, they've won. He knows the defense. He has a culture there.
His name's not been up though either.
It hasn't came up, but he interviewed here last year.
Yeah.
So that's somebody that they don't necessarily
as a coordinator.
Correct. That's somebody that they don't necessarily need to talk to a bunch, right? Yeah. Because they already have an understanding of him, and I know they have a relationship with him. So you're left with those names that have done it before, and that you have a body of work. I don't know what direction nobody knows what direction they're going, but I don't. But from the names that we know have been talked to, these are coordinators. These are not head coaches.
I do agree with that, and I do think that.
I think with the exception of Kellen Moore, you're right.
Well, yeah, I think with the exception there.
I think Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore is.
I think they're probably touching base with him to see what have you grown? Maybe have you developed in this regard? But you still don't. I don't think no disrespect to Kellen Moore, but what's his identity?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Coach.
Yeah, is he a leader? Is he a leader of men? Like
that's one of the.
That's the real question for me.
But I don't even know if his offense has an identity.
Yeah.
So I'm just being straight up.
Of course, he's leaning on
right now,
arguably one of the
Saquon.
NFL's MVPs
right now,
for sure.
Saquon Barkley.
But go back to the Chargers.
Yeah.
Go back. What's been the identity? What do you know that you're going to get out of Kellen Moore? You don't know anything, right? So when you talk about some of these other coaches, you know Ron Rivera, right? Regardless of where you may lay with that, you know what you're going to get out of him. You know what you're going to get out of John Gruden. You know what you're going to get out of some of the candidates that are now being taken off the board. You don't know in regards to Kellen Moore. So that's why I think no necessarily on that, because one of the boxes that has to be checked is, are you a leader of men? Are you creative? Can you handle the media? Are you forward facing? Like, all these things have to be checked.
Yeah.
And I don't think that he possesses the main one. He doesn't have a character. What is his character?
And also, to your point, you don't know exactly what his scheme is anymore, right? Because when he was with Dallas, he was adverse to running the ball. Hell, he got him that podium a couple of times and kind of joked about it. And was like, hey, if it were up to me, I'd throw 60 times a game, right? You go to Philadelphia, and they won't let you do it because they got Saquon Barkley and just a monstrous offensive line. So now it's his identity schematically in Philadelphia is Saquon.
He's adaptable.
And the best offensive line
That's
in football.
fair. So, but if you were to bring him
and you
back
don't want to
as a
throw
head
60
coach-
times with that quarterback.
Yeah, if you were to bring him back as a head coach, you don't have a Saquon, and we don't know how things shake out in the draft, who they will or will not select at the position. You don't know if Rico Dowdle's going to return because he might be on his Tony Pollard stuff right now, which is, hey, this is possibly the highest I'll be at entering free agency.
Best value.
Right. So you just don't know. So to your point, there's a lot of question marks there. So going back to Kyle's question, who's the front runner? Right now, there is no front runner because they don't know. They're still sorting through some things.
And because of that, I don't think there's a position open or made or a decision made this week. I just really don't think it's happening this week. And does that...
It's going to be just like regular free agency. You're going to be left with the scraps.
You're going to be left with whatever you got at the end of it. Did we talk about this 4 weeks ago? Yes, we did. We talked about this 4 weeks ago, but this is where we are, and this is where the situation is. Everybody that's throwing names out there, whether it's a content creator, whether it's a reporter, whether it's a website, all of that, take it with a grain of salt because not all of it is true right now that's being thrown out there. In the building, the truth is they're not really getting anywhere yet, and this one's not close to being done yet. And as I say that as the only truth in this whole scenario, I'm sure there will be a hire tomorrow because that's how this thing works.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to take our second break. When we come back, I want to build the ideal candidate. We're going to take the best elements from some of the NFL's past and present head coaches and build what you would want and who closest resembles what your player and coach would end up being when we talk about it right after this with more Talkin Cowboys.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag and Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
And we're going to overtime.
Erica, how much have I spent on concessions?
For questions about their money, Dallas Cowboys fans can turn to Erica, the virtual financial assistant in the Bank of America mobile banking app. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/Erica by your side. Bank of America, official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Erica responses may vary. Digital tools featured require downloading the mobile banking app and may only be available on select mobile devices. Erica is a mobile feature only available in the English language. Your chat may be recorded and monitored for quality assurance. Message and data rates and additional terms may apply. Bank of America, N.A. member FDIC.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
All right, back here on Talkin Cowboys. This segment of the show is brought to you by Invisalign, the official smile of the Dallas Cowboys. Back alongside Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez,
Aye.
Isaiah Stanback,
Aye.
Chris Beam in the back. I'm Kyle Youmans. All right.
Eeyore with yours. Why was yours Eeyore?
I poo.
It's what we all are today, is just Eeyore, because we're tired of this coaching search. All right, build a ideal candidate. We're going to build a bear type things today. We're taking
very
bits
expensive.
and pieces. Yeah, those things are pricey. Bits and pieces of the elements of your ideal candidate, either from past or present coaches in the NFL. And then I want you to explain, who do you feel like best represents? Here's the thing. We can't use the same coaches. We're going to do this draft style.
Okay.
So we're going to start things off by play calling.
Okay.
Play calling, and we're going to let Josh
Offense,
go first.
defense?
Ooh. Josh is going to go first. We're going to go
Offense
clockwise.
first? Defense first.
This is your ideal head coach, so you build it however you want it, offense or defense.
So play calling is the first category.
Play calling is the first category.
What if I don't want my head coach to call plays?
Then you can say that. Then pick a coach that doesn't call plays.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can do it that way.
So we're doing play
Just
calling.
have fun with it, man.
We're trying not to
understand.
For example, if let's say they hire Pete Carroll.
Okay.
Is he going to call plays on either
No.
offense or defense?
No.
So there's your opportunity.
So we're picking
As a
just
play
a head
caller.
coach right now.
Just
your head coach.
Okay.
For your head coach, what
Yeah.
do you want him to embody from other coaches out there?
Gotcha.
So we're building the perfect coach top to bottom.
Head coach.
Head coach
Just a head
only.
coach. Just a
Yes.
head coach?
Yes.
John Gruden.
Okay, you're not up yet. Josh is going first, play calling wise.
Play calling wise.
Take John Gruden.
Let me go with Sean McVay.
Oh, okay.
Sean McVay. I think
okay.
everything that goes into the way that he calls the game. He actually called a really great game this past weekend, and to me, they looked like the better team. They really did, and it was.
Yeah, if they just hold on to the ball, they win that
unfortunate
game.
fumbles that cost them the game. But I think he's made Matt Stafford better. I think the whole team is better because of Sean McVay. Give me Sean McVay when it comes to play calling.
Okay, Patrik?
Play calling. Give me Ben Johnson's play calling.
Okay.
I want that creativity. I want that forward-thinking head coach that's not play caller, who's not reactive to what the trends are in the league. You're setting the trends. You're pulling out the tricks. You're scouting collegiate playbooks and film and looking for new creative ideas. That give me a Ben Johnson for a play call.
Okay. Remember, this doesn't have to be a candidate and an opening that's out there.
No,
That's
It could be all time.
Well, he's gone.
Thanks for the clarity, Kyle.
I'm going to
He's
go.
not available.
Yeah, I'm just making sure. I'm going with Kyle Shanahan's play calling.
Okay.
San Francisco 49ers head coach. What he's done has been enough to sprout the tree of excellence in terms of offensive play callers across the NFL. I'm giving Kyle Shanahan as my play caller up top.
Okay.
What do you think?
I'm going with
John Gruden.
Rex Ryan.
Oh, defensive guy. Okay.
His play calling, like I said, my time in the league and what I've seen from him versus some of the other coordinators I've faced, this dude, he's like the Ben Johnson of defense. He just creates whatever the heck he wants to, and it's so unorthodox and
Innovative.
It's innovative as all get out. It's like he's sitting in bed just drawing it up on his phone, and so yeah, that's my pick.
Okay. And now you get to go first on the second category, which is leadership. Who would you want to embody the leadership of that head coach?
Ooh, leadership. Here with a star, right? Mm-hmm. I gotta go John Gruden.
Okay.
Yeah, John Gruden as a leader.
You think he could handle the circus?
Yes, he is the circus.
He brings it to town anyway.
It would be entertaining.
He embodies circus.
That would be like how like there's the traveling circus model.
Yeah.
And then you turn around and that one's just permanent. You just build it. You
I mean, his nickname is Chucky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Come on.
He's an icon.
You guys understand this.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right. As far as leadership goes, one of the best coaches to ever handle the weight of the star that we've talked about. And we're talking about all time, right?
Past or present.
Past or present.
Steal my answer again.
Jimmy Johnson.
Twice in a row.
Jimmy Johnson, man. I think at this point, Jerry and Jimmy, obviously they've made up. If you get a coach in here like Jimmy that is able to not only lead the team, but lead the fan base, people can galvanize behind a leader like that and believe in him no matter what, no matter if you start off with a, basically no-win season, right? I think you would find people that you just need a figure like that now. I think this fan base really needs that. We need a leader like that. We need a leader like Dan Campbell, someone that you are able to really identify with and galvanize behind.
Change the culture with.
To change the culture, you're desperately in need of that.
Oh, he's batting 2 for 2 on mine.
You better not.
I'm going Cool Hand Luke here.
Oh, okay.
So I'll see your Jimmy Johnson.
Pause.
I'll see your Jimmy Johnson.
The pause, dude.
Stop. I worked
Oh
on
for
this.
2.
I'm sore.
Where's the dollar jar?
I'm sore.
Yeah, we need to get our jar.
The pause.
You owe like
Hey, that
$10.
could go either way, Jimmy.
I think we all
You'll
four
see my
$10
Jimmy.
in
That's
there.
no win. Jimmy. I see your Jimmy. I see your Johnson. Jimmy Johnson. Okay. I'm gonna go with Cool Hand Luke, the one that started it all. I need the leadership of Tom Landry.
Ooh.
That's what I need. Tom Landry, who has shown, you talk about Jimmy Johnson, and rightfully so, being able to come into an organization after several seasons of loss, and then he had he had a very bad first season with the Cowboys, immediately turned that around. Tom Landry quite literally helped establish this organization as an expansion franchise, took it from dirt, ground zero. This is the pre-Jerry Jones era, moved it all the way to Super Bowl status, Hall of Famers, Roger Staubach and the like on both sides of the ball. And I know we're in the social media era nowadays. So when you talk about circus, you're thinking of it through the scope of it's because you know everything about the inner working. So you could say, oh, well, see, that's crazy and that's weird. Okay, well, let me tell you, back in the 60s and the 70s and even the 80s, there was so much that you didn't know about because there was no social media. It was just as much as a circus as far as keeping things on the rails in this organization. And Tom Landry was right there keeping things on the rails and keeping the Cowboys winning and keeping them relevant, keeping them in NFC championships and Super Bowls. So, and I also love the Cool Hand Luke aspect of it. Yes, I love Jimmy's fire. I love Chucky's fire, John Gruden. I love those types of coaches, Dan Campbell. But there's also a lot to be said for one who, no matter what's thrown at them, it's just the fedora. And he's just cool because you just know that he's going to get it handled, whatever it might be. And I think that invokes a bit of confidence when you tie it to his experience and knowing what he can do. So leadership-wise, give me Tom Landry.
In a different sense, but a similar reasoning, I'm going to go with Andy Reid for my leader.
I like that.
Yeah, kind of a similar thing. Nothing shakes him, and the play calling is a side product of it. He's a great play caller. Yes, we know that. But the leadership that he's shown to handle the circus that is the Kansas City Chiefs. You're talking about Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill in the earlier years to win Super Bowls every single year and to get back to a championship every single year when the circus around it isn't even involved with football. A lot of the time it's Taylor Swift. A lot of the time it's Caitlin Clark at the game this past weekend. A lot of times it's the Mahomes family outside of Patrick that are doing weird stuff on TikTok every day. Yet the focus has always been on two things: football and cheeseburgers after a win. And officiating. That's true. Yeah, and somehow he's got dark magic that helps the officials.
Chicken tendies.
So there's that level to it as well. All right, experience. Patrick, I'll let you go first on this one.
Experience. Experience. I keep circling. There's so many to go around, but I'm going to land on Bill Parcells.
Ooh.
Damn good choice.
I'm landing on Bill Parcells because that experience, it's self-explanatory. I don't have to get all into that. You know what he's capable of, and you know the egos he's been able to rally together, glue together, and get success and get a Super Bowl championship. So, yeah, I'm going Parcells on that.
I'm going to go with another Bill, Mr. Belichick. Just take the Super Bowls, plain and simple. He's won how many of them now? 7?
Yeah.
7 of
He's
them?
up there.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So I'm going to just take that one. That's an easy win. Experience.
Let's go Pete Carroll.
That's a good one.
I thought you were going to say Tomlin.
Nah, it was going to be no. It would have been Bill Belichick.
Okay.
I'll go with Pete Carroll.
Okay.
Pete Carroll's seen it all. He came from the Parcells tree as well. He's been through those ranks. He understands. He's seen it at the college level. He's seen it. He's been a champion many, many times. He's been in multiple Super Bowls. He's won it. He's lost it. Right. He has that experience of feeling both the heartache and the
of course,
the height of it. So I think I would go with Coach Carroll.
Okay.
Belichick was my answer for a long time when I kind of interpreted this. I was sort of thinking of like, okay, well, we saw Bill Belichick towards the end of his career in the NFL, right? And we saw how that was going and kind of an unwillingness to innovate when the game is very much changed and he didn't have the Hall of Fame quarterback that obviously won him all of the Super Bowls. I think now of a guy like John Harbaugh. I think about what he's done with different quarterbacks.
That's delicious.
I think of what he's done. He's won a Super Bowl, but I also think he has his best years ahead of him. I don't think he's done by a long shot.
I agree.
I think he's working with a team that is consistently in the picture.
Just catch the ball.
But unlike a Mike Tomlin, this guy still performs in the playoffs. He really does. So, yeah, give me John Harbaugh.
Just catch the ball.
Just catch the freaking ball. Mark Andrews.
Yeah, that was a tough one for Mark. All right. So Josh's was Sean McVay, Jimmy Johnson, John Harbaugh. That's a pretty good trio.
Not bad, huh?
Patrick says Ben Johnson, Tom Landry, Bill Parcells. You got the new age and the old age is what you got there.
Yeah.
Isaiah's was Rex Ryan, John Gruden, and Pete Carroll.
Oh, height guy.
All NFL Network.
Dude, that's
an all NFL Network team right there.
That's going to be a competitive, energy bus-driven team right there, baby.
Those practices are going to be grueling.
Oh, my goodness.
And then mine is Kyle Shanahan, Andy Reid, and Bill Belichick.
That's a lot of chill.
Very
Yours is
chill.
quite literally
the quite opposite.
Complete opposite. My practices are turned. We got a DJ and everything.
Ours is you better expect to get it done and know the playbook, and we'll make it happen.
We got DJs and feet massages.
Yeah.
Mine feels like an overpowered, like Avengers superhero.
Sean McVay, Jimmy Johnson, and John Harbaugh. You get all of it together. All right. That's going to do it for us here on Talking Cowboys. Hope you had some fun with us this week. We'll see if we have any answers for you next week going into this
I hope so.
coaching matchup. Head coaching decision. Could be Jimmy. It could be Johnson. Who knows? Whenever we get down to it next week. For Patrik Walker, for
same difference.
Josh Rodriguez, for Isaiah Stanback, for Chris Beam in the back, I'm Kyle Youmans saying so long from Talking Cowboys. We'll see you next week.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?